Edenvale traffic, Golf Papa Delta Whiskey is going to taxi 06 back to the Aerodrome.
Gonna make another radio announcement here.
Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankees, backtracking 31.
But have you ever been in a small plane like this?
No.
No?
First time.
Don't worry, it's loads of fun. You're probably very nervous, right?
A little bit,
okay.
Yeah.
I've dealt with that a lot. A lot of people are extremely nervous in these things.
Edenvale traffic, Skydive 16,000.
I don't know how I can convince you other than to show you how safe these things are.
Yeah.
I've been doing this 7 years now.
Oh, wow.
Like never an incident. And put it this way, I started flying in my teens when you're reckless.
Yeah.
And I didn't hurt myself, so now I'm not reckless anymore, and I still haven't hurt myself.
Yeah.
So they're generally pretty safe. The stuff you see on TV gives flying a bad rap, but a lot of it is misconceptions too.
Yeah.
Planes don't fall out of the sky. They just they don't. Maybe if the pilot has a heart attack, yes.
Yeah.
But other than that, they don't just fall out of the sky.
Yeah. We did like the helicopter tour in Toronto last year, so that's about like as similar as we can get to a plane, I guess.
Far more too. Helicopter.
Yeah.
Oh. But okay, so I'm going to show you the range of motion I'm going to need with this stick. So just watch your hands and your legs here. So I'm going to need about that much motion on this control stick to take off.
Okay.
And once we get up to a safe altitude and away from the vicinity of the airport, I'm going to start showing you how to do this, okay?
Okay, great.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to accelerate this thing full power. It might be a little bit rocking and rolling as we're climbing out, but it will get smoother.
Okay, great.
Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankee is on the roll. 31.
So right there, I've just applied full power. I'm steering the plane with my feet actually on the ground here.
Oh.
There's 2 pedals there. As we get it going fast enough, I just pull up and just like that, we're off the ground.
Edenvale traffic, Skydive 12 miles long, overflight of field, turn to left hand, wind 21.
So what we're hearing other pilots communicating on the same frequency that we're on.
Okay.
They don't hear us talking. They only hear us talk if I push the button that's on the front of the control stick.
Okay. That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Oh, it should get better then. Yeah, the only thing that I think might bother you is the turbulence we might encounter like that.
Okay.
Feel that?
Even that's okay.
Well, that's the worst that's going to happen to us, is that. If you're fine with that, everything's all downhill, literally.
The other planes that are flying, is it from the same company?
Nope. No,
It's just different?
This is my school.
Oh, okay.
I own this school. I have 2 planes, one here and one in Midland. I have another instructor that works with me. The other guy, there's another Barrie Flying Club that's there. They're just my competitor.
Oh, okay.
Edenvale traffic, Skydive 1 overhead of field, we'll be turning to the mid-left downwind 1.
So what I do is I offer these flights to give somebody what it feels like to fly, and anybody who's obviously interested can come back for lessons, and I teach them and get them their license.
Yeah, this is great.
So right now we are coming up on 1,500 feet over the ground.
Cool.
What I'm doing is I'm leveling the plane off around here. I'm going to fly out in this direction a little bit more, and I'll give you a choice of what scenery you want to go for today.
Awesome.
We have the option of going that way towards Collingwood Blue Mountain. We can go this way towards Midland, Penetangwisheen, Victoria Harbour, or we can go towards Barrie, Innisfil, wherever you like.
What's your favorite?
You know, Doesn't matter. I like it all, right?
Yeah.
It's always cool to see things, right?
Maybe Collingwood. That'd
Sure.
be fun.
What I'm just doing, setting up my instruments for myself. Okay.
All the traffic, there is Eagle over the shoreline, westbound 3,500, the beam Blue Mountain.
So what I'm going to do is when I get us out to the water here, I'm going to make a radio announcement, just let other pilots in the area know that we're going to be traveling that way.
Okay.
That way we all kind of avoid each other.
Yeah.
And from there, I'm going to show you how to control this thing.
Great.
Backtrack, 3-4.
Yeah, the scenery out this way is actually quite cool because you can see all the beaches, right?
Yeah. The water is so blue.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks like the tropics here.
Yeah.
And sandy, too, right? It's all sand.
Beautiful.
All right, Michelle, you want to try this?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to do it the way every pilot learns how to fly, or you just want to do it ad-lib the way you want to try it?
Every pilot.
Okay,
Yeah.
so every pilot will start using their left hand on the control stick, even if you're right-handed, because your right hand eventually needs to be available to control the throttle, all this stuff, right?
Okay.
So, now that you have your hand on the control stick, I want you to feel what it's like to control this plane in a turn.
Okay.
So we use the stick to do our turning. If we want to turn right, we're going to take the stick and just a gentle pull like this to the right. Feel how it did that?
Yeah.
Now we can see that the plane is banking, kind of going on its side. If we don't correct it, it'll keep going. See how steep that's getting? So we have to push back.
Okay.
Now we got rid of that. Now we're nice and level again. So if we want to go left now, just feel this little incremental push to the left. Now it's going left, and if we don't want it to be so steep, you just kind of pull back just a little bit like that.
Okay.
So that's the two type of turns we can do.
Okay.
The next thing we can do with this control stick is we can climb. So if we want the plane to go up, we can pull back towards us, and you'll see the nose coming up like that. As it's climbing, you can see that we're climbing because this needle is going higher. This number is getting bigger. So we're going up, we're going up. This thing, our airspeed begins to slow down because we're going up. We're losing energy. So what a pilot doesn't want to do is fly a plane too slow. So in the case of here, once it gets to 60, that's as slow as I want to fly this plane.
Okay.
I won't pull back anymore. So notice this, I'm pulling back, see now it's at 60. I would either have to add power, which I'll do there. Now I added power. It's going to let us keep climbing safely. Or I can just level the nose forward like this and it'll start picking up airspeed, but it won't climb anymore. If I want to take the plane and go down, we just push the stick away from us like that. Now we're going towards the ground, just gentle. We're in a gradual descent, and we can check that by looking at this. You can see the altimeter's moving in a downwards direction. So obviously, you know, it's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But it's a lot easier than you think. So if you don't pay attention too much to all this nonsense in here, and you look outside and just fly by the way your hand feels, I'm pretty sure most people can do decent turns, climbs, and descents if they don't get all caught up in this thing.
Right.
So if you want to try it, just take the control stick and feel free to do a turn maybe in this direction. Just try what it's like.
Okay.
My hand is close by, so I'm not going to let anything bad happen. That's it. And if you feel the turn's getting a little too aggressive, you just pull back in the other direction. Nice.
Leaving altitude.
Don't worry about the computer speaking.
Okay. I was like, oh no, did I do something?
No.
Approaching altitude.
You would have to do something really crazy to cause us trouble.
It's crazy that you don't even have to push on it that much for it to turn.
Just tiny increments.
Altitude.
And the reason for that is because we're going fast.
Okay.
So very similar to if you're driving your car very fast on the highway. When you change lanes, you just do this with your finger, right?
Yeah.
On the steering wheel. Same thing in the plane. We're going so fast that it only requires little motions like that. The slower we get, the motions on the stick get bigger.
Okay.
But once we get into slow flying, that's more dangerous. So we don't like to mess around with the slow airspeeds.
Right.
So the job of the pilot is to always keep that airspeed at a decent number. And we do that by the use of this throttle, our gas pedal.
Approaching altitude.
The only reason why she's talking is because I put a little blue indicator at 2,500 feet.
Okay.
So if you leave it by 100 feet, she's going to talk.
Okay.
I found it was a lot less annoying for the student than me always reminding them.
Right.
So she's got a more pleasant voice than I. So.
Leaving altitude.
You're doing well.
Awesome.
So you are in a little bit of a descent when you're turning. We're going down, but that's okay. That just makes us go faster.
Okay.
Turn base 31.
I'm just going to make a radio announcement again, just let the pilots in the area know.
Okay.
Collingwood area traffic, SportStar India Juliet Kilo Yankees, just north of the field over the shoreline, traveling westbound at 2,200 feet. Long traffic, Mike Uniform, Mike's final 31.
Here's the big town of Collingwood today. They have their big Elvis festival going on down there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually not even sure where they do that.
Uniform Hotel Late Experimentalist taxiing and going to hold short 3-1 for landing traffic. Any other traffic in the circuit, please advise.
I'm not even sure where they do that festival. I just saw the billboards.
Yeah. Probably a stage or something at Blue Mountain.
It could be there.
Yeah.
So you are flying the plane right now. I'm doing nothing, just so you know that.
Okay.
So we're still in a descent. That's fine. So now we're down to 2,000 feet above sea level.
Okay.
The only thing about going down at those altitudes is it tends to get more choppy. See how we're getting bumped around a bit? The higher we are, the smoother it is in the summertime. So if you pull back a little bit, we're going to be in a bit of a climb. I'll add a little bit of power to help us climb. Nice. Feel you're getting the hang of it?
I think so.
Good. Well, I can think you are too, because I'm not doing nothing here.
Right.
So. That's a good climb. Really nice climb.
Thank you.
Oh, most people when they get on that stick, they'll just pull on it, right?
Yeah.
And if you do that, it'll climb, but it'll create a lot of G-forces too, right?
And that makes it harder for the plane, I guess, to get up there?
Harder for the plane and harder on us. Like you'll feel your body get pulled into the seat.
Yeah.
Join the mid-left downwind 3-1 Collingwood.
Blue Mountain looks pretty cool from up here.
Yeah. Completely different.
Collingwood Uniform Hotel is going to be backtracking 3-1 Collingwood.
And if at any time you want to take photos with your phone or whatever, just let me know and I'll control it. It's up to you.
Probably once we like make a loop and turn.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you can really see a lot of places in an hour. Like from here, you got Blue Mountain. Past here is the Beaver Valley with the waterfalls and stuff. Go that way.
Sure.
I don't think in an hour we wouldn't be able to make it to see all the shipwrecks. There's a bunch of shipwrecks underwater.
Oh.
But it's a little bit, it's near Owen Sound.
And you can actually see them from here?
Yeah,
That's
right
awesome.
when you look down into the water, you can see them.
Oh, wow.
This time of the year, there's usually a lot of divers that will be diving on them.
And that's technically Collingwood?
No, that would be Owen Sound.
Owen Sound?
Yeah. Yeah, all up this coastline, there's quite a few shipwrecks, but they start far off in the distance.
Oh, wow.
So in a plane, we can get places pretty fast. We're obviously already at Blue Mountain.
Yeah.
And we've only been in the air for like 11 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where's the farthest you've flown?
I've taken this plane to Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I have.
And how long did that take?
About 10 hours of flying.
Yeah. How do you know where to go?
As you're becoming a pilot, you get trained how to navigate.
Yeah.
So that's part of the ground schooling we do.
Right.
We teach everybody how to navigate. But to be honest with you, I cheat and use GPS.
Yeah.
You know, I know how to do that stuff. Obviously, I'm an instructor. I teach people how to do it. But why do it the hard way when this plane has full GPS, it has autopilot.
Oh.
2.5, we're heading to the shoreline, and then we'll come across the field and join a mid-left downwind.
So we're now at 3,700 feet. You climbed up nice and high.
Should I go down a bit?
Collingwood
This is
traffic,
good. You can stay up here.
Uniform Hotel is on the roll, 3-1. Collingwood.
Generally really smooth up here. It's a lot smoother.
Yeah.
We're almost at cloud level if you look at this cloud right
Yeah.
here.
That's crazy.
Yep. Some cotton flying by us.
And Collingwood, Romeo Yankee X-ray is backtracking 3-1 for the departure to the south.
I go with you, Dave.
Absolutely.
Bracco Zulu backtracking 3-1 with the 170.
So if you take the pressure off the control stick, what's the plane do if you sort of let go of it?
I think it might go down a little bit.
Let's see. All right, so I'm just going to fix that a little bit there. This little button might help. It actually wants to climb. This thing here adjusts little micro thing on the back that helps us fly level.
Joining the backtracking parade on 3-1.
Right there, that's pretty level right there.
You're not invited.
So go ahead, it's all yours again. As long as you're not pulling on it, it should stay at this level. You can go left and right, do whatever you want.
What do the side buttons do?
The side in this plane aren't hooked up. That's for the same function if it had it on the wings. There's like buttons that aren't hooked up for anything. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it?
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool thing about these things is you can get far fast.
Yeah.
You know, you're covering a lot of ground real quick. We have no traffic.
And Collingwood, Romeo Yankee X-ray is departing 3-1.
The only thing that sucks for a pilot is obviously weather, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, even one of the other times, we could have went flying, but you wouldn't have seen much.
Yeah.
And that's a, you know, I don't want to rip you off that way, right?
Yeah.
Today's kind of cool. We have cool clouds, nice visibility.
Yeah, it's perfect weather for this.
Yeah.
We were looking at the weather this morning and it was saying chance of thunderstorms later today.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, don't do it.
Yeah.
Bracco Zulu departing 3-1 southbound departure.
Well, even yesterday there was thunderstorms, but it's neat. When you're in the sky, you'll see them. They'll just be in little pockets, and as long as you avoid them, it's
Yeah.
cool. Like up here, you can see so much.
What would happen if you had to do like an emergency landing or something?
What would happen?
Yeah, like I guess you have to radio it in or something.
When we talk on these radios, we're just talking to other pilots.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we had an engine failure in this plane, I would do the responsible thing, and what we do is declare a mayday. So we'd say, you know, mayday on the radio, tell everybody who we are, where we are,
right,
and where I plan to land the plane.
Oh, okay.
They will pass on the message, whoever heard it, to the next person. The next person will eventually call it into the authorities or rescue.
Right.
Generally, most engine out situations are you walk away from it, very safe. Generally where you get into trouble is when you have an engine failure over the water, way out there.
Right.
There's nowhere to land. Or if we're over the city, there's nowhere to land.
Right.
Or over a massive forest.
Yeah.
But in the case of here, if we had an engine failure, we're going to be landing in one of those fields out there.
Yeah, lots of space.
And odds are most likely we'll be calling somebody to pick us up. Because we're going to be fine, right? We're just going to put it down in a field.
Yeah, if you guys can expedite, it's Charlie Golf Oscar Delta Zulu, we're over at the field.
So depending on what you want to see, I don't know if you want to see the Beaver Valley, that's that way. Or we can go back the other way and go towards Midland. It's up to you, right?
Where's there more to see, you think?
Well, depends on what you want to see. What type of stuff do you want to see?
Well, what's over that way? The waterfalls and stuff?
There's a waterfall down there, and down this. If you look right off the left, off the tip of the wing, you can see there's like a valley there. It's hard. It might be hard to see the contour at this angle, but if you go up that valley, there's a cool rock waterfall and stuff.
Okay.
We can go that way.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so just do a left turn. You know what to do. So one of the harder things to do is when you're turning is to try not to climb or descend.
Okay.
So in the turn, you're in a gradual descent. So just pull back towards you a little bit while you're turning. There you go. Now we're staying at the same altitude. Now as we start going over land, it's probably going to start getting a little choppy and bumpy because we're now relatively low to the ground again. In that direction, that's it. But if you're going to climb, I'm going to add some power.
Okay.
3-1 Collingwood.
That's it, perfect.
Let's go take position runway 3-1.
Humidity looks a little bit high today. That's what all that sort of fog look is.
Right.
Kind of rising up and creating these clouds right now.
Collingwood traffic, Commander Charlie Golf Oscar Delta Zulu is turning final, full stop 3-1. Aircraft on the button of 3-1, are you on the roll, sir?
Yeah, Golf to the Delta Golf on the roll, runway 3-1.
Roger that. Oscar Delta Zulu, final, full stop 3-1, Collingwood.
Collingwood traffic in Evektor SportStar is crossing the field, 1,700 feet for the mid-downwind, 331.
If you can think of any other questions you have for me, please feel free to ask. We're flying, right?
Well, Evektor
So far, you're doing really good. You're controlling the thing, and I'm just chilling out here, right? So it's a lot easier than people think it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, there is complications to becoming a pilot, and I find the easy thing is to learn how to fly the plane. The harder thing is to understand how to do all the navigation and the weather and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
How to communicate on these radios. How to know all the laws of the sky. Because there's actually laws that we follow while we're up here.
What are some of the laws?
Some of the laws would be something simple like you're not supposed to fly any lower than 500 feet above the ground. If you're over top of a civilization like a town, it has to be 1,000 feet.
Okay.
So since we're over farmland here, we can go as low as 500 feet over the ground.
Oh, wow.
But if we were over a town at 500 feet, we could lose our license.
Right.
Area is a here from 2700 over Lake.
And who's kind of in charge of that?
Transport Canada is the governing authority of aviation.
Oh, yeah.
There's no police per se.
Yeah.
What it would be is somebody ratting you out.
Oh, okay.
So somebody on the ground calls it in and they see your license number, that's the number of this plane.
Okay.
They would call in that number and say, this guy's doing donuts over my house at 200 feet.
Yeah. Kind of a problem.
Yeah, then you get in trouble. That's the basics of laws. Other things are how to land at an airport.
Yeah.
You don't just come and land, you have to enter what they call the traffic pattern or the circuit. And you have to understand how to enter that and how to fly that procedure.
Straight in runway 31.
It's not, like I said, it's not terribly complicated, but when you're a novice, it seems overwhelming.
Yeah, just lots to know, I guess.
Yeah.
Collingwood traffic,
So I recommend if anybody's going to do it, don't get intimidated from their first few flights. Just slowly absorb things. And it comes to, I find people are flying this thing, take off and landing within 10 hours.
Oh, wow.
The rest of the training is those laws and the rules and how to do all these little procedures.
Right.
We practice for worst case scenarios, like we'll do simulated engine failures and stuff like that. And once somebody can do that with confidence, then they get their license.
Yeah. Oh. Is there kind of like a G, like a written part and a flying part?
There is a student pilot permit, and a student pilot permit a person gets whenever they're ready to fly solo, but not with a passenger. So yeah, you can fly by yourself, just you can't take anybody else with you unless they're a pilot.
Oh, okay.
So I guess it's identical to that, yeah? Now, you don't have to be stuck in that stage for long. You technically only need to do 2 to 3 hours in that stage.
Right.
But some people choose to stay in that stage for maybe 10 hours of training.
Yeah, just until they get comfortable?
Yeah, because they're not comfortable taking a loved one up until they know they're the boss, right?
Collingwood, Wasaga, Edenvale traffic.
Now, obviously, there's a lot of things that can go wrong in a plane, but most of them you can mitigate to just a basic landing on a field.
Yeah.
No big deal, right?
Edenvale, on the way to Collingwood.
Collingwood traffic, Bravo Oscar, hover taxiing to the Jet A pumps, remaining just the active elephant.
Is there somewhere that it says how much fuel you have?
Yep. We have 2 tanks in this plane, 37 liters and 31 liters.
Cool.
So we got plenty of fuel for what we're doing. We're now all the way up at 4,100 feet.
Go down a bit?
No, it doesn't matter.
No?
This is fine up here.
Okay.
It's safer. The higher we go, the safer we are.
Yeah.
Straight in for 31. 8 miles from the airport.
How high do like commercial planes fly?
They'll usually go up to around 30,000.
Oh, wow.
35,000. Yeah, very high. They do that for a few reasons. The air is thinner, so you get more fuel efficiency.
Okay.
There's very strong winds that help push them. So there's a few reasons why they'll go there. And plus they stay out of the way of all of us down here.
Right.
So if we go, if you want to check out that waterfall,
yeah.
That's Lake Eugenia there. So that's the top of the waterfall. And then it pours off into that valley that's off to our right. If you want to take a right turn, it will kind of go towards the valley. I don't know if you could recognize that there is a valley there. It kind of goes down and up.
Just right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some ski slopes there.
Collingwood, 31. About 5 miles from the airport.
Yeah, so if we go in this direction for a little bit, we'll get into the valley and then we'll turn left and kind of fly with it.
Okay.
I'm surprised we're getting bumped around up this high.
Yeah.
Generally, it's very smooth here.
Is clear of the active.
So it is definitely building into some, eventually these will become big rainstorms.
Yeah.
Collingwood traffic, Golf Yankee.
That's so cool though.
Yeah.
Downwind, runway 31.
Telegraph Mike, I'm on a final for 3-1. Collingwood.
That was a good one.
3.5 miles.
So when you feel those coming, you just fight back.
Okay.
If you feel it lifted the wing and you didn't want it to lift, you push it back down.
Okay.
Don't be afraid, you won't break it.
That was kind of fun though.
Oh yeah.
Collingwood traffic.
I think they're getting rougher because we're getting close to the clouds. The clouds are punishing us a little bit.
Okay.
So if you want, we can descend a little bit. Yeah.
Collingwood traffic, this is Foxtrot, uniform Foxtrot, November, Cessna 185 Amtib, going to be flying over.
Right there, you're pointing it down pretty aggressively. That's okay, but we're going to end up going very fast if you do that for a long time.
Uniform Fox, November, overhead the field in 3 minutes at 4.5, then proceeding westbound.
Collingwood traffic, Golf Yankee Juliet Hotel, turn left base, runway 31.
Telegraph Mike, 1 mile final for 3-1. So, wherever you are. Are you okay to go behind me, Telegraph Mike?
Is that okay there, you think?
Well, this is fine, yeah.
Okay.
Telegraph Mike, are you okay to go behind me? I'm just about to land.
Collingwood traffic, Yankee Juliet Hotel, turn final.
So this is what they call the Beaver Valley, this big chunk taken out of the earth here.
You don't have to overshoot Telegraph Mike.
The right around here might be a good altitude, and if we just kind of go left up this valley.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know that there is a waterfall out here. It's a small one, but kind of neat that it's there.
Yeah.
So right there, we're doing a climb again. So if you push forward a little bit, that's it. If you want a more accurate representation of if we're climbing or descending, this instrument here will tell you that.
Okay.
If the needle is below the zero, we're in a descent.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you pull back on the stick a little bit, now we're level, now we're climbing.
Oh.
It's very accurate though, right? So that's why you got to find that little sweet spot like this with the stick. You just find right there, and you just kind of hold it roughly in that spot. There you go.
Okay.
Now, I certainly wouldn't recommend you focus inside though, because then it's no fun.
Right.
You're up here to fly and look around.
Collingwood traffic, Telegraph Mike is clear and active now.
Collingwood traffic, Golf Yankee Juliet Hotel, turn crosswind, runway 31.
That's tough to keep it at the zero.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, you're never going to get it perfect. It's not designed to be perfect. They're just references.
Right.
Leaving altitude. Approaching altitude. Leaving altitude. Approaching altitude.
She's a chatty one.
Collingwood traffic, Golf Yankee Juliet Hotel, turning left downwind, runway 31.
I'm just trying to figure out where that waterfall is. We're darn close to it, I know that. Sometimes they block it off though, and then you don't get a chance to see it flowing. Like they'll stop the water flow.
Oh.
Trinidad, Golf.
To leave water in the lake, they don't want it to drain.
We're
Right.
about 9 miles to the south, and we'll be landing at Collingwood.
Are you okay if I take a couple pictures?
Yeah, please do. Okay, I'll take control.
Thank you, Pierre. Golf Kilo Mike. And Collingwood traffic, it's Trinidad Golf Kilo Mike. Will be flying overhead the field, 2,000 feet to join the left downwind for 3-1.
I think
Collingwood.
it's down, yeah it is. I don't know if you see this little forest here, there's like a ridge and it drops.
Just behind here?
Yeah, I think when we get around it, we'll be able to look up the valley.
Traffic, Golf Yankee Juliet
Like a big
Hotel.
cliff face. Starting to see the granite right near the wing there. I'll turn it around so we can really see up there. Yeah, it's in there. So I'll turn the plane in a second. Wow, it's quite turbulent. Just makes it annoying. I know when I see the water flowing. So right off the tip of the wing. It's very, very gentle.
Oh,
right now.
just right there.
So a lot of people go swimming down in there. Right at the bottom of that. Pretty cool,
That's
huh?
so cool. It's so hidden.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised it's so choppy right now. It's just getting quite violent up here.
Approaching.
Now, as long as you're
altitude.
okay with it, it's not bothering you, and your stomach's okay.
No,
You're
I'm okay. Yeah,
Well, some people all of a sudden will get motion sickness,
yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
And that would suck if that happened out here because we're a little bit away from the airport.
Yeah.
So it's up to you if you want to take control again, you can. So you have control. So right now we are on the west side of Blue Mountain, which puts us at high ground elevation. Blue Mountain's not really a mountain, like it doesn't go like that, like a peak.
Right.
It goes up one side and then the top side is flat all the way across Ontario here.
Oh, wow.
They call it an escarpment. So right now we're on the top of the escarpment.
Right.
And as we fly back towards the direction of the airport, you'll notice how the earth drops right down.
Collingwood traffic, it's Trinidad Golf Kilo Mike.
You've probably seen it, like if you're ever like driving down to Niagara Falls, you see that big cliff face all the way down the one side near Stony Creek. That's the same escarpment that runs all the way to there.
Oh, wow.
Collingwood traffic, Piper Warrior, Golf Hotel Yankee Whiskey, over the mouth of the river, Wasaga Beach, inbound for landing. Estimated time over the field.
So off in this direction, all over southern Ontario, is windmills everywhere. So just watch how much you pull up on that stick, because right now we're starting to go a little bit slow. There we go. So you'll see in front of us down there all these white windmills, the electric windmills.
Yeah. Oh.
Kind of litters the landscape from here all the way to Kitchener.
Wow.
So as long as we don't fly into one of them, we're okay.
It's crazy seeing everything from up this high.
Yeah.
Collingwood traffic, it's Trinidad Golf Kilo Mike. We're just on a tight circuit here and we'll be joining the left base for 31. Do you think you could wait for a minute?
What are these like purple things in the back?
Okay.
I just turned on
Trinidad Golf Kilo Mike.
GPS guidance.
Oh, okay.
That gives us guidance to the airport, but we're not going to be able to use that route because it's going to put us in line with Collingwood Airport, and we don't want to fly in their vicinity.
Okay.
Because they're quite busy today.
Okay.
I was just playing with the system, seeing how it it would peg us straight back. Now, we obviously don't have to go straight back yet.
Yeah.
What we can do is, oh, those turbulence is really getting us. We could probably, you know what, we might be able to maintain this heading. As long as we stay nice and high, we can fly right past Collingwood.
Collingwood traffic, uniform Bravo Bravo, we're rolling 3-1 for right-hand departure.
Collingwood traffic, Trinidad Golf Golf Kilo Mike, turning final 3-1, Collingwood.
So did you think it would be this easy?
No.
There you go.
I thought it'd be a lot more difficult.
Bravo Bravo is airborne off 3-1, Collingwood.
Yeah, certainly the harder things to do are the landing and the takeoff.
Right.
Because there's a lot more going on. But, like I say, within 10 hours, I find most people can do that.
Yeah. Like you said, I feel like once you're up here, you can like feel the plane has to go this way or has to go that way a little bit.
Golf Kilo Mike, short final, 3-1, Collingwood.
So are you from the area then?
Bradford.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's quite a bit.
Well, Bradford, Cookstown area, right?
Oh,
Like
okay.
I grew up in Bradford, but I live in Cookstown now.
Oh, okay.
It's only a 40-minute drive for me.
That's not bad.
No.
Collingwood traffic, uniform Bravo Bravo, making a right turn.
I would do this down there, but there's no airports.
Right. This is the closest one, I guess?
The closest decent one.
Yeah.
Like there is some small airports, but they're grass, right? And
Collingwood traffic,
that's just rough and bumpy, and it kind of scares people for their first time.
Right.
22 to the northeast, just coming over the shoreline at 2.3. Cross over the midfield to the left, downwind 3-1, Hotel Yankee Whiskey. Collingwood traffic, uniform Bravo Bravo. We are climbing through 2200 for 25 over the town of Collingwood, westbound by the lakeshore.
Yeah, see all these windmills down here?
Yeah.
Collingwood traffic, Cardinal Golf Off Papa Charlie, will be backtracking 3-1, plus one aircraft, no radio. No radio will be departing first, westbound departure, and Golf Off Papa Charlie will remain for one circuit. Golf Off Papa Charlie, Collingwood.
Collingwood traffic, it's Trinidad Golf Golf Kilo Mike, clear of the active, Collingwood.
Midland traffic, Juliet Fox Zulu is midfield on the downwind for 3-4, Midland.
Midland or Lake traffic, this is Cessna 172, Golf Golf Uniform Mike. We are 2 miles southeast of Ore Lake. We are at 4,000 feet, practicing up.
I don't know if you've ever been to the Scenic Caves before.
No.
I think they're located in this. See this little valley right down
Yeah.
here? If this is the valley that has a large suspension bridge, that's it there.
Collingwood traffic, Golf Hotel Yankee Whiskey, just over in the midfield at circuit altitude. We're going to cross over to the left, downwind 3-1. Visual.
It's supposed to be cool. I don't remember. If I was there when I was like 8 years old, so I don't remember. But there's caves you can walk through right under these mountains.
Yeah, that's cool.
Midland traffic, Juliet Fox Zulu is on final for 3-4, Midland.
What's the autopilot button? It just stays at this level?
It'll do really wherever I set the GPS to go.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So if I do that right now and I hold this down.
Autopilot.
Collingwood.
So now it's going to fly straight and level to the airport that is programmed in here.
Wow.
So
that's really
now
cool.
you can go hands off, have your coffee.
That's really
so that
cool.
when I go to Florida, that's what I do, right? I'll just set it. I'll go up nice and high so it's not bumpy and just let it go.
That's so cool.
It is cool. And then you disconnect it.
Autopilot. Disconnect.
Now it's back to you flying it.
Cool.
Now obviously you can punch in all kinds of stuff. You can tell it to go so far, make a turn to the left and go to another location.
Wow.
You can get into all kinds of fancy programming, but I don't bother with that.
That's super high tech.
Yeah, it's got it all.
Collingwood traffic, Hotel Yankee Whiskey, left base 31.
You have great control of this thing. I haven't done any flying
Collingwood
since
traffic, Cardinal.
you took photos, right? So you're good.
It's
Thank
turning
you.
onto the left base, or sorry, left downwind 31. Touch and go.
Yeah, I can see those storms building.
Collingwood traffic, Hotel Yankee Whiskey is final 31, full stop.
Maybe a silly question.
Yep.
But do you have windshield wipers?
Nope, it's unnecessary.
Oh, okay. It just falls off?
Yeah, pretty much. The propeller's acting like a big fan or like a blow dryer.
Yeah.
As the rain hits, it'll get annoying, but it just kind of pisses right off because of that propeller. I wouldn't call it a silly question because some planes do have them.
Yeah.
Leaving altitude.
Like if you didn't have the propeller here and you had propellers on the wings,
right,
you would need windshield wipers.
True. How far in advance do you have to get ready for landing?
Not far.
No?
Approaching altitude.
Now the airport we came from is right off in the distance this way. I don't know if you could recognize it. It's kind of tough to make it out. It looks like there's a runway going this way, and then there's another one going that way, and it's kind of right in front of us.
Just right off to the left a little bit, right there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See it off in the distance?
Yeah.
So that's the airport we went to. If we wanted to go in to land there, right around now, I might make a radio announcement and say, hey, this is what we're doing, we're coming in to land.
Right.
But that's really the only preparation you need to do. You have to announce yourself to the other pilots. And then you just proceed towards it, and then you enter into the procedure called the circuit, or the traffic pattern.
Right.
QI from down, final 431.
So you don't need much prep at all. Now, unless you're flying to an airport that's really busy, like in Toronto,
right,
all you have to do is radio to their control tower and tell them you're coming in, and they'll tell you when to make your turns.
Oh, okay.
They'll say, drop down to this many feet on your altimeter, fly this direction until we tell you to turn.
That's
Quite simple.
Yeah. Jacob's gonna love this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it his thing?
He was nervous, I think, but
I'm
being
sure.
up here, I think he'll have a great time.
Good. Is there any maneuver you wanted to try to do with the plane?
Such as?
Well, I'm not going to flip the thing over or anything like that, but is there anything you were ever curious about whenever it came to flying? Like, some people want to see what it's like with an engine failure. you know, stuff like that. And it's nothing drastic. If you want to see, just to get the misconception out of your head.
Okay, yeah. Let's do it.
All right, so if our engine died, this is all that would happen. This is it. So don't let the movies give you bullshit, because this is it. There you go, we have no engine.
Oh.
That's it.
Well, that's okay.
And so right now the pilot's job would be, all right, keep the airspeed above 60. I'm doing that with the control stick.
Yeah.
If I want to go faster, I let the nose come down. It'll start picking up speed.
Yeah.
If I want to slow down, I pull back. And I look for a nice safe spot to land.
That's not that bad.
No.
And actually, if it happened right here where we are, we're going to go land right at that runway.
Yeah.
We're going to make it there, no problem. I would just radio, mayday, 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 we're coming down, and we're going to land on the runway, we have no engine. But that's it. So contrary to what you see on the movies where planes start nosediving,
Yeah.
and I hate that they do that because it hurts this industry.
Yeah.
It scares people away, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to take control again, it's all yours.
Keep that thing on Downwind 431.
I can obviously do steep turns, stuff like that. It's up
Yeah,
to
sure.
you. Want to try that?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just going to stay away from the airport. And as long as the bumps don't get too violent, just go this way a little bit away from that airport. So like in the case of this, we're now, oh geez, I don't know how many degrees we'd be at.
I don't think I want to know.
So you can turn this thing around pretty quick. You can feel the G-forces sort of in your butt, pulling you into the seat.
Yeah. Oh, my ears are definitely popping.
Yeah.
That's really cool, though.
Bring it left. So we're turning pretty darn steep right now.
Yeah.
Leaving altitude.
That's really cool.
And then, of course, one thing that some people like to check out is this one here. Weightless.
Approaching altitude. Leaving altitude.
Not so much a stunt, but it's something we have to know how to control,
Yeah.
right?
That's awesome.
So that's just what I did there, was just a quick dive. Sometimes you may have to do that to avoid a bird or something crazy, right? 'Cause
Right.
if you hit a bird, it'll stop your engine. Right? Silly
Yeah.
things like that, right? So I'll just bring her right back this way.
Do birds usually come up this high, though?
You know, you'd be surprised. They don't usually, but you'll find them up here
Yeah.
sometimes. And it'll wreck a pilot's day real quick.
Yeah, wow.
Mind you, I haven't hit a bird in over 10 years, so I'm going to hope that record keeps going.
Yeah.
And there we go. Nice and steep. Real quick turnarounds. People on the ground will think we're drunk.
Yeah, final 431. Okay, so we are making it. So take the power off completely.
So, since you asked the question about how do we prepare to go into land, we can start doing that.
Okay.
The airport is over there. It's up to you if you want to take control for this procedure. Do you want to try?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm just going to give a little bit more power. What we'll do is we're going to fly out towards that little town there of Stayner. So,
Okay.
just sort of right in front of us where all those trees are. So you have control again. We're going to go out that way, and we are then going to turn the plane around in the direction of the airport.
Okay.
At that point, I'm going to make a radio announcement, let them know what we're doing.
Okay.
Then we're gradually going to descend the plane to 1,700 feet,
Okay.
and I'll just talk you through it step by step. So right around here, we're going to do a turn all the way around back towards the airport.
Okay.
The reason why we did that is I want to try to line us up so we're coming in nice and straight to where we want to be. So right around here, I'm just going to make a radio announcement.
Okay.
Edenvale traffic, SportStar India, Juliet, Kilo Yankees, 5 miles east of the field, 2,500 feet, going to descend to circuit height and join us straight in downwind, 3-1.
Kilo Info, phone downwind, 431, touch and go.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to stay in this direction right now. We're going to let the plane come down to 1,700 feet. You don't have to race to get there, just a gentle descent.
Okay.
So right now I had to reduce the power to nothing because you're pointing it down pretty aggressive.
Okay.
You don't have to be that aggressive. Pull back a little bit on that stick, right there. That's a little better, nice. I'm gonna try to talk you through this procedure.
Okay.
Eventually we're gonna fly parallel with that long runway.
Approaching
But
altitude.
not yet, almost. So right here is our altitude. We're gonna level off here. So right around here, we're gonna turn this way and fly parallel with that. That's it.
Okay.
I'll make another radio announcement.
Edenvale traffic, Juliet, Kilo Yankee is established left downwind, 3-1, full stop, number 2.
So right in this direction here. And we gotta pull back just a little bit. We gotta keep us at 1,700 feet. Nice. A little bit more to the right.
Okay.
Yeah, this is one area where we're supposed to be pretty accurate, and you're doing good.
Okay.
See now how the runway's this way? We
Right.
want to fly right parallel with it, so it's sort of this direction too. This is what we call the downwind.
Okay.
It's like an imaginary highway that exists in the sky 1,000 feet over the ground, and that's where we are right now.
Okay.
So I generally point the plane towards that antenna. See that antenna up in the distance in the horizon?
Okay, yeah.
So as long as we keep it towards that antenna, we're nice and straight.
Kia Info, final 431.
We'll go a little bit more to the right, just a touch more. Gonna pull it just a little bit as a correction, just over here like that, right there.
Okay.
Right around there. I'm going to try to get you to do as much of the landing as possible.
Okay.
If you're ready for it, of course.
I'm ready.
Okay. So right around here, we're going to do another turn. We're going to go in that direction.
Okay.
Edenvale traffic, Juliet, Kilo Yankees, turning left base, 3-1, full stop.
This is where we got to slow the plane down.
Okay.
So that's why I'm easing back on the throttle. Right around here, we're going to level these wings out. So we're just going to go like that.
Okay.
Slow it down a bit more, and I'm going to reach down and put our flaps on. Here's one flap. There's two. They exist underneath the wing. You can't see them.
Okay.
I'm just going to get it all set up for you so you can feel this. Okay, so right here, we're trying to hold the airspeed of 65. So this is where it gets tricky.
Okay.
Because if I let the nose come down, it'll go too fast.
Edenvale traffic, Juliet, Kilo Yankees, final, 3-1, full stop.
Now the air is holding us up here. I'll get us right in line so you can try this.
Okay.
All right, so have your hand on that control again.
Okay.
I want you to feel what it's like. The stick's going to feel heavy. See how it gets heavy like that? So we just pull back a little bit to slow us down.
Yeah, AFM turning downwind.
Feel how I'm pulling back like this?
Yeah.
That's just slowing us down a little bit.
Traffic advisory, Wasaga Beach area is Cornell, Charlie Victor Tango.
We're using no engine at all.
We'll be following the shoreline westbound at 1.7.
And right here we just keep flying,
Charlie Victor Tango.
We're still flying the planes, flying the plane, flying the plane. Just like that, it's down.
Awesome.
Nice and smooth, huh?
Hey Jim, I lost part of that transmission. Whereabouts are you?
I just wait for it to slow down on its own, then I'll start applying brakes.
Right north, about
The brakes are way up on my tiptoes here.
Both of them are the brakes?
Yeah, there's a left brake and a right brake. So it takes some practice to get used to them, because if you hit one too hard, you'll turn the plane.
Oh, okay.
You did awesome.
Thank you. That was amazing.
Good stuff.
Lots of
Glad
fun.
you enjoyed it.
But I don't see you, Bill.
half mile crossing midfield, directly north.
Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankees clear of 3-1, backtracking 2-6 to the apron.